Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to another video on the channel. Another week of Premier League predictions. This is match day, match week 12 of the Premier League. Now, before we get into this week's predictions, as always, we'll go through last week's predictions. Once again, if you guys don't know how this actually works, you get half a point for every score you get correct. No, for every team you get correct to win, and you get 1 point if you get the exact score line correct. So, I did absolutely horrendous. Last week was my worst prediction out of the 11 so far. Like literally from match day 1 until match day 11, last week was my worst. My first three match days, my first three games went pretty alright. I got half a point for all three. Fulham United, I went with a 2-1 Manchester United win. It was a 1-0 win, but it's half a point, decent. Brentford West Ham, I went 1-0 Brentford. It was 3-2 Brentford. Okay, 1 point in total now. And then Man City Bournemouth, I got obviously Man City win. I went 3-0. It was 6-1, right? So 1.5 point in total, looking pretty good. And yeah, that's all. I got 1.5 point. That's all. Like literally, my worst before last week was 2.5 points, and that was all the way. I think it was match day 2 or match day 3. Literally, I've done pretty well since then, and I've just been screwed over. Because afterwards, Sheffield United against Wolves, I went with a 1-1. I think it was a 2-1 Sheffield United win with a stupid late penalty to Sheffield United. Burnley Crystal Palace, I was stupid for this one. I should have went with a Crystal Palace win. I went 2-2. It was 2-0 Palace. Everton against Brighton. I thought Brighton would get the job done with a 2-1 win. No. They went and they were dominated for almost of the game. They got a late equalizer, but they couldn't get the second, and it was 1-1 instead. Great. Newcastle United Arsenal. I went 1-0 Arsenal. Great. 1-0 Newcastle. Forest against Villa. What could go wrong except for Aston Villa win? I went 2-1 Aston Villa. 2-0 Nottingham Forest. Where has this come from? And then Liverpool, away against Luton Town. It should be a pretty simple, comfortable win. You know, I think I even said it's not about whether they win it, it's about how many they score. They nearly lost. And then Spurs, let's not talk about that. They were robbed. Let's be honest. I went 2-0 Spurs. It finished 4-1 Chelsea. So that's great. That was fun. 1.5 points the whole of last week. Yeah, absolutely disastrous. Absolutely disastrous. Let's start this week, however. Match day 12 with an opening game of Wolves, who lost last week against Sheffield United late on, and Spurs, who lost to Chelsea. Now, I still have Wolves in my predictions as the team to get relegated. I still back that. Spurs, unlucky, I would say, against Chelsea. 2 red cards. A few goals that were disallowed in that game as well. I'm going to go with a bounce back for Spurs. 2-1. 2-1. 2-1 Spurs. Come on. And then Manchester United, Luton Town. Look, if Manchester United cannot beat Luton Town or lose to Luton Town at Old Trafford, that's it. I'm going to go 1-0. I mean, I have no confidence that Manchester United will score many, but they have to score one at least. Come on. Come on. Arsenal Burnley. I'm going for a punchy one. I'm going 5-1. It might seem crazy, but Arsenal did pretty much smack Sheffield United. And yeah, Burnley, poor. At home against Crystal Palace. You know, I bet companies, man, and I said, look, if there's a game, or if there are games like Crystal Palace at home, Everton at home, you have to get points from, at least a point, to, realistically look to survive. They didn't. And I think going away to the Emirates against an Arsenal side, they are pretty much one of, if not the best in the league. I think they're up there. They're definitely a top 4 side. To get up there, to try to pick up not just 3 points, let's say a point, to even get a point would be pretty much impossible. Crystal Palace won away against Burnley, against Everton at home, who held Brighton to a draw. I expect this to be one of those games where we all say a 1-1 or 2-2 and one team just nicks it. I want to say Palace because they're at home, but I won't be surprised if Everton get a 1-0. So I'm going to go with a 1-0 Everton win. I mean, Everton are the most unpredictable team in the league this season. Like, literally, they can lose to Luton Town, but they can beat, any other team. They can beat a Brentford 3-1, but they can lose to Luton Town. And they might be able to beat Crystal Palace, but then, lose to Sheffield United. Something like that. They're crazy. Everton are crazy. Bournemouth at home to Newcastle. I mean, absolutely dominated by Man City last week, but it's Man City. Newcastle, on the other hand, a bit fortunate, I would say, to get that win against Arsenal. I think they would have either ways because they were playing pretty decently. Let's go 2-0 Newcastle. I mean, if this comes back to bite me, I really don't know what to say. I mean, Aston Villa, you're at home. Okay? Against Fulham. 3-0. I'm still backing Villa. I am still backing Aston Villa to get the job done. Brighton at home. Again, they're at home. They're against Sheffield United. Okay? A side that won last time out, really, but they were at home. And they won with a late penalty. 2-1 Brighton. West Ham against Nottingham Forest. I mean, West Ham, it was a shock as well last week. Pretty shocking though, wasn't it? That they didn't win and they lost. I mean, in terms of, I predicted 1-0, but based on the way that they played, you would find it shocking because I felt like they maybe should have gotten themselves at least a point. At home, against a side that won. I'm gonna go for a 1-1 draw. I mean, literally, I don't see either side getting the win, but might be a Forest win. Might be a West Ham win. Liverpool struggled pretty much against against Luton Town away. They're at home against a Brentford side that did well to win at home against West Ham, but I'm gonna go for 2-0 Liverpool win. And the match of the week, go and enjoy this game if you are either a Chelsea fan or Man City fan coming into this game. Of course, both sides won their first or last game. Chelsea at home. Nah, I'm gonna go for 3-1 Man City win. I'm backing Man City for this. So yeah, that were my predictions. Those were my predictions. Let me know what your thoughts are down below. Let me know your predictions in the comments. Hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. Hit the like button, subscribe, turn the on already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.